welcome to my quarantine hotel, the Marriott Mayflower Central Jakarta. And outside you can see the sprawl, or part of the sprawl, of downtown Jakarta. There's a subway, metro station, plenty of high-rises, and down there one of the kampongs is where the local people live, which are always dotted around the skyscrapers. So this video will show my journey from Manchester Airport, UK, via Qatar into Jakarta, and then what happened when I arrived at the airport here in Jakarta. I'm going to tell you now, the process from getting off the plane to arriving in this hotel took 5 hours. Document checks, PCR tests, waiting for the results, all of that happened there. So let's go back to Manchester Airport at the start of my journey. Right, so I'm in at Manchester Airport, about to board a flight to Doha in Qatar and then onwards to Jakarta in Indonesia, where I'm going to be working for the next year or so. So when I get there, I've got to quarantine. So this video is going to document my journey there under this pandemic. Right, here we go, boarding. So here we are, in my seat. I managed to get business class because I use all my air miles. So yeah, nice little seat here. I've never had two windows before, or a seat next to me like this. And look at this. Close it up. Private little cabin. Cheers. And so here we go, the journey to Doha.
Please remain seated with your seatbelt fastened until the seatbelt sign has been turned off.
So Doha at just past midnight. Busy, busy, busy. I've got about an hour until I board the next flight to Jakarta. So let's have a look around. I used to live here in Doha, Qatar for about 7 years. So I'm really familiar with the airport and the famous teddy bear, and this airport is so familiar, so familiar. So I'm in the Qatar Airways Business Lounge. Got a beer, 20 past 1 in the morning. About to board in about, I reckon, 40 minutes, enough time. And then I just spotted this, flight to Jakarta, delayed 3 hours. Oh my God. Oh my God. Right, so it's 4 o'clock in the morning here. So I'm gonna head off to the gate. Flight leaves in an hour, supposedly. 3 hour delay, nightmare. So I made it on board 5 AM, and for the first time in my flying history, I'm sitting on a backwards seat, facing the back of the plane.
Reports for takeoff and landing. If you drop your personal electronic device inside your seat, please do not operate the seat control.
Just lower the blinds properly. Look at that. So with an 8-hour flight, I'm going to try to get some sleep. So see you in Jakarta. So it's about 6 hours later. I managed to sleep. When I woke up, turned the map on, and I was over Kuala Lumpur. My breakfast has just arrived. Got about an hour and a half to Jakarta. Jakarta. Heading towards baggage claim and security. Let's see what happens. So I've just made to sit here. I'm also going to check our documents there. So it's been 40 minutes and I've got to the second holding pen. There's the second holding pen here, and there's the third holding pen where then you go for your PCR test, next stage. So it took an hour and 10 minutes to reach this point where they're going to check our details and give us and then we go for the PCR test over there. So yeah, I'm here, getting my all the documents checked. So that check I just did, which is like 2 minutes, was just my passport and boarding card, and now here is all your COVID results, health checkup, everything. So that test took about a minute to just check some details, and then I bypassed a whole section there. I don't know what people were having done there, but it directed me down here. So am I going to be free soon? You know, such a look about being home and free. Now it's for the PCR swab test. All these people waiting in front of me. So that's it done. With a pile of paperwork getting stamped. PCR test. That took 1 hour and a half from joining the queue, and now immigration. Now I'm in a special room here because if I'd have been a tourist I could have just gone to that queue I was in, but this is now for Qitas holders, which is like the official work visa section. And there we go. It is 7:45. We landed at 5:30. Got my visa, and now got to wait for the PCR test results before I can go to the hotel. Bags collected. Now I'm going to be put into a holding room waiting for the PCR test. So now it's just a matter of waiting for the PCR test. It's now 8 o'clock. All these people are waiting for their PCR test, and it takes about, on average, 1 hour to get the PCR test results. So it's 9 p.m. Still no sign of my PCR test. Oh, I'm so tired and so annoyed with this whole process. So it's 20 to 10, and we're finally through. The result didn't come back, but he just, the guy here who's helping me out, he just gave up and he just scanned this barcode and it worked, let us out, so maybe it had been ready for a long time. And now, transport to the hotel. Made it into the car 5 hours, more or less 5 hours after landing. 10 o'clock in the evening now. So made it. Traffic wasn't too bad because it's quite late at night. Normally it'll take ages in the notorious Jakarta traffic. So finally in my room, 11:15. Nice room though, and I think it's on something like the 29th floor. So there is the sprawl of Jakarta, which we'll see tomorrow more. So that is it. Good night. I've got here. This is the quarantine hotel, and I've been here now for 2 days. It's my day 2, and what happens is on day 5, if I'm tested negative, I can leave, and that will hopefully be happening in a couple of days' time. Let me just tell you about what happens in the hotel. So when you check in, you're given one of these bands, I'm not really sure why, and then you take into your room and they show you around, and then they leave, and then the next thing you know, there's a buzzer for your meals. Your meals arrive about 8 a.m, 12, lunchtime, and about 5, 6 p.m. And you can pick whether you want a Western or an Asian meal, and they arrive in this box. And you go and collect it from your door, outside your door, bring it in, eat it, and put the box back outside. Your garbage is picked up 3 times a day if you need it, and you can have 5 pieces of laundry washed and ironed every single day. But let's have a look around the apartment. A laundry room, and then we've got like the kitchen area, tea and coffee and the rest of it, and a nice flat screen TV. Nice chair to sit on if you want. Then obviously the view, which I showed you at the beginning of the video. Let's carry on into this part, which is like the bedroom. So another TV, and then over here is where I've been working on the computer, doing Zoom meetings and things. And then you've got the bathroom, which is all really nice. So yeah, it's a nice hotel. So as you can see, it's a fairly comfortable place to stay. The Marriott Mayflower Executive Suites. 2 more days of quarantine, and then I'm out. So my PCR test result came back negative, which means now, because it is 12 o'clock, my quarantine is officially over. So in the taxi, here we go. Off to my apartment in Bintaro.